Before the Cyclops, before the Sirens, before the bow contest in Ithaca, there is a harder question. How did an oral epic become the Odyssey we read? Tradition names the poet Homer. Modern scholarship is more cautious. The Odyssey took shape in Homeric Greek within a long oral performance culture, most often dated to the 8th or 7th century before the Common Era. Singers used repeated formulas, stock phrases, and type scenes that made a vast poem memorizable and improvable in performance. By the mid-6th century, the epic had entered the Greek literary canon. We should hear Homer less as a modern novelist at a desk and more as the name of a tradition that crystallized into text. Here is our map. Background, beginning near 115. The poem, beginning near 203. Major characters, near 421. Use those markers to find your place. Background, then. The Odyssey is the great companion poem to the Iliad. Where the Iliad is war at Troy, the Odyssey is Nostos, homecoming. Its hero is Odysseus, king of Ithaca, famed for cunning, metis, as much as strength. The story begins in medias res, 20 years after he sailed for Troy, 10 years of war, then 10 of wandering. On Olympus, Athena champions him. Poseidon rages against him for blinding the Cyclops Polyphemus. Meanwhile, Ithaca itself is under siege, not by armies, but by suitors who devour the household, while Penelope waits and Telemachus comes of age. The poem itself falls into 3 movements. First, the Telemachy, books 1 through 4. Athena visits Ithaca in disguise and stirs young Telemachus to confront the suitors and seek news of his father. He sails to Pylos and Sparta, hosted by Nestor, then by Menelaus and Helen. He learns Odysseus still lives, held on a distant island, and the suitors plot to ambush the prince on his return. The son's journey is a coming of age. The household crisis is now visible, and the need for the father's return is urgent. Second movement, the Wanderings and Return, roughly books 5 through 13. Hermes orders Calypso to release Odysseus. He builds a raft, survives Poseidon's storm, and reaches the Phaeacians, where Princess Nausicaa and Queen Arete become his path to aid. At their court, he narrates his famous trials: the Cicones, the Lotus Eaters, Polyphemus the Cyclops, Aeolus and the Bag of Winds, the Laestrygonians, Circe on Aea, the Underworld and the prophet Tiresias, the Sirens, Scylla and Charybdis, the Cattle of the Sun, and the loss of his crew. The Phaeacians finally convey him, asleep, to Ithaca's shore. Third movement, Homecoming and Reckoning, books 14 through 24. Disguised as a beggar, Odysseus tests loyalties. The swineherd Eumaeus, then reunion with Telemachus. The nurse Euryclea, who knows him by an old scar. Penelope sets the bow contest. Odysseus strings the bow, and with Telemachus and loyal allies, he slaughters the suitors, Antinous first among them. Recognition with Penelope is cautious and profound. Peace with the suitor's kin is imposed only when Athena halts the next cycle of blood. Nostos is complete, not merely arrival, but restored order. Major characters, in brief. Odysseus, cunning king of Ithaca, husband and father, favored by Athena, opposed by Poseidon. Penelope, steadfast queen, weaving delay against the suitors. Telemachus, the son who grows into agency. Athena, divine strategist and protector. Poseidon, sea god antagonist. Zeus, arbiter among the gods. Calypso and Circe, powerful hosts who detain and transform.
Polyphemus, the Cyclops whose blinding costs Odysseus Poseidon's wrath. Nausicaa, Arete, and Alcinous, Phaeacian helpers of return. Eumaeus and Eurycleia, loyal servants of the household. Antinous and Eurymachus, chief suitors and violators of hospitality. Around them stand Laertes, Tiresias, Hermes, and the rest of a world where cunning, loyalty, and xenia, guest friendship, decide survival.
So the Odyssey endures, an oral epic of return, structured for memory, populated by gods and a household fighting to become whole again. Return to background, the poem, or major characters whenever you need the map.